5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Clingers Have Spoken. My name is Joel. That's Michael. We're the Clingers, and we're about to talk about Season 46, Episode 4 of Survivor. We just watched an all-time cast member get voted out. Bhanu, goodbye, good riddance. And I know I'm in tough shape right now, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through tonight's episode. So, Michael, I was just wondering, can you find me an idol?
No.
Well,
bygones,
come on,
bygones. Man. Namaste.
The emotional swings, Bhanu saying things that she's never seen anyone say on Survivor. What is there to say at this point? I can't believe I've ever, knowing that the person you're talking to is going to vote you out, and they've been open about that, and you're saying, can you find me an idol, is one of the craziest things I've ever seen on Survivor.
Yeah. I want to know, what Bhanu, when he watched, so he's watched every episode of Survivor, and he says, what does he enjoy about it?
Yeah.
Is he enjoying just the camp moments? Is he really into the challenges? Because the whole social strategic side of the game, I think, is completely lost on him.
Yes. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm glad he enjoys the show. I've enjoyed him being on the show, but I do think it's time for him to go. We need to move on to a real season of Survivor now. We've gotten 3 episodes straight of just constant Bhanu content.
Yes. And hopefully that will start next week. I think there's a world where Bhanu gets on Survivor and he gets on a tribe that doesn't go to tribal council until the merge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's not he's not, he did make a mistake in the challenge tonight, but he's not he's been a terrible challenge player.
Yeah, he's not a complete liability in challenges. But, and I'm glad that he's on a really bad tribe so that he didn't make the merge, because I think he really could have done some damage post-merge.
Yeah, but, you don't know to who.
Exactly.
Not necessarily his allies even.
Exactly.
He's kind of I think on Rob Has a Podcast, he said, sometimes it's good to have, a grenade in the mix, It makes for good television. It's like a landmine that, you just don't know, at what point something's just going to explode someone's game.
Yeah.
So we're missing that, but he exploded his own game. So
it's like if you took the worst part of Nora's game from Edge of Extinction, or not Edge of Extinction, the Island of the Idols, and multiplied it by 20. That's how it feels, because watching that season, watching Nora play, no one trusted her because she would just say things to people.
Yeah.
And she got drugged to the end. Can you imagine having to watch Bhanu make Final 3?
Yeah.
What a nightmare that would be.
Yeah, Nora was way smarter, I think, than people were giving her credit for.
Yeah.
And Bhanu is, I'm sure, an awesome person and such a wonderful person to be around and hang out with. And I think they all if they had just been out there hanging out, getting to know new people on the beach, they might have all liked Bhanu.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like anybody was oh, Bhanu's so bossy around camp, or Bhanu's not pulling his own weight, or this or that. It truly just seemed like we can't, in good faith, advance in this game with Bhanu. We can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like no one can. Like that's the thing. And oh man, tonight's episode was so frustrating. It was so frustrating for me to watch. I don't know if it's I know we had the conversation last week and it feels like I'm more frustrated by Banu than you are. But this week, just like the vast emotional swings that he went through in a matter of minutes or hours,
Yeah.
like from he said while he was searching for an idol, he was like, well, I know one thing. I know I'm not going home tonight. And then he looks for maybe 30 minutes and is just screaming at God and screaming at himself and cussing at himself and cursing about other people. And oh man,
Yeah.
that was just,
It was like, people on the golf course, you're hitting a great shot, you get a couple pars, maybe a birdie, you're living large, and then literally 10 minutes later, you are like wanting to snap your club over your knee and cursing yourself out. And yeah,
yeah. But he never even got a par. Like he never was like doing well. You know, it's just like, and some people they would come up and Q would talking to him about stuff, and Q's trying to help him, and then he's like, "It's so stupid. Like I'm not their puppet. Like I can't believe that I'm having to do what they tell me to do. What do you want them to do? You literally ask someone to find you an idol. Like
yeah, you literally like asked them to tell you what to do. Like literally, like that's
yeah,
what he did. Yeah, I mean, I'm good. I think we've talked about Banu enough. I don't feel too much. I mean, he Banu'd some more tonight. What else is there to say? He's gone. He'll be a memorable character.
I feel like there's going to be a point in the season where I'm just going to like think of Banu and then I'm going to go on like a 3 minute rant again. So maybe we can save up for that moment. Um, yeah, just man, brutal watch. I like when they lost the challenge today, both fists were in the air. I was like screaming, I was like, yes, like thank goodness someone from Sieg is not going home. And thank goodness that Bond is going home because man.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, if Banu got to the merge, I would have been like interested in what was going to happen. But I don't think I could have handled like two more pre-merge episodes that are like Banu, Banu, Banu. That was just going to be too much for me. So I'm glad we can collectively move on from that.
Yeah, you know what? Up to this point, this season has felt like it's felt like Mario Party, like the party game of Mario Party, where there's like four people and they're playing, and then there's like one person that keeps going to like the Bowser thing, and then they like get like a fortune of riches, and then it all disappears, and then it's just all kind of random. That's how the game felt with Banu, and I'm excited for that not to be the case anymore. Um, yeah. So we actually saw a decent amount of like other tribe like dynamics, which I appreciated. It felt like they were setting us up for either of them to go to tribal and think like, okay, like if Siga goes to tribal, there's this narrative out there that Tim may go home, or if Nami goes to tribal, there's this narrative out there that Soda may go home. Which both of those were interesting. Which one do you want to start with first?
I think we can start with Soda.
Yeah.
I think I said this like already on our podcast this season, but like Soda's just playing too hard. Like chill. Like she's just all together, like kind of overdoing it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool to see like the way Tevin was like mentally just like ready to let go of Soda. He was like, I'm close with Soda, but I'm not trying to like deal with that. Like simply like the paranoia of having Soda around is too much for me. Like she's too much in everything. And while I'm closer with her than like three other people on this tribe, like I'd be okay to let Soda go. In fact, that's what I want to happen.
Yeah, I thought that was fascinating. I was kind of shocked that he said that. It reminded me a little bit of last season with Caleb and what's her name? The woman
Sabaya.
Sabaya, yeah. Because like Sabaya was like, look, Caleb is like playing this game. He's very good at it. Like I like Caleb a lot, but ultimately, like I can control my own game if I get rid of him. Um, it's tough because I feel like that attitude this early in the game doesn't ever really work out. You know, like I
Hmm.
don't recall someone voting out one of their two biggest alliances pre-merge and it going really well for them. And
No.
that's what I'd be concerned about. Like pre-merge, I feel like is the time for like conservative play where you're just building your alliances, taking care of your alliances, and going into the merge with those alliances. And
Yeah.
like I guess he's trying to establish that with Liz a little bit, maybe Venus down the road, but like that's that's a move that I wouldn't make personally. I know why he did, but that was odd to me. And it feels a little bit too daring.
Yeah. I don't even know that he thinks it's daring. Like, I don't like, I think he's like, yeah, I'm close with Soda, but like, I can kind of vibe with different people, and I've got a ride or die like that's not Soda. I thought it was cool when Hunter's like, is Tevin saying he wants to get rid of Soda is music to my ears, because if Tevin is not with Soda, then like we're like for sure number ones with each other.
Yeah.
And so like not having to worry about that, like them teaming up on me, like if in our alliance of three, that's a win. So yeah, I mean I thought there was some interesting stuff at play there. I mean, I I think Venus is like she's gonna be around. We saw like some more of Liz tonight. Um so I think those are like players that like we're actually getting to be around a little bit.
Yeah.
And then moving over to Sega, like,
Can I just stop you real fast?
yeah,
So I don't think we saw any Venus tonight. We did see Liz being normal. Like Liz was normal. Like that's the first time that we've seen Liz have like a normal conversation on the show, it feels like, where she's actually able to connect. And we can actually see that she's like actually capable of playing the game and building necessary alliances, you know?
yeah,
Because last season I was very frustrated with Liz because she was doing all sorts of crazy and annoying things. But like she has like a decent head on her shoulders. And maybe that's been there the whole time, but now we're seeing it, which is interesting.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I thought Liz like seemed like a normal Survivor player. A little bit weird that she's allergic to all the fruit on the island and coconuts.
it's
Like,
tough.
how are you even out there? Like, I'm surprised that they even let you come. It's like you're allergic to everything here.
Yeah, do they not like
Okay.
send them to like an allergist or something and say like, look, these are like the animals, like this is their venom, like this is like coconuts and fruits and stuff that you'd be eating. This is like what the like the bamboo is made of. You know, like is that not like a consideration? And like it may not be, but that's
Yeah, I don't
interesting.
think they do that. I
Yeah,
mean, I think they like they have to go like pass a physical and stuff, but like I don't think it's that detailed of like this is the indigenous like bamboo, is this going to irritate your skin? Like I don't think they go into all that. But like
yeah,
moving over to Sega,
yeah.
like um Tim did something during the challenge and Jeff said, "Tim, blah 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 blah." And Adeline was like, "Who's Tim?" She was like, "Who's Tim?" I'm like, "He's the guy on the Sega tribe that you don't know."
Uh
That's
huh.
who that is. I was like, he's the guy that's always like making faces at other people on the tribe. Like,
The guy that doesn't laugh with everyone else in Sega. The guy that
yeah,
just exists at Sega.
yeah. He's just vibing. He's his own vibe. He's like
Yeah.
encouraging in the challenges. He's encouraging the other tribes. Like when Yanu had to go to tribal again last week, he was like, "Keep your head up, guys. You can do this." Like, blah, blah, blah. But
It wasn't
yeah,
Ben?
like, no, I think it was Tim. I think Tim
Wow.
said something.
Oh.
And yeah, but Gem, is that her name?
Gem.
Hiding
Yeah.
the Beware advantage in a different place.
So yeah, we definitely need to talk about that. That's the first time we've ever seen that done with a Beware advantage. And probably the first time that's been allowed to happen because you they're not going to find the thing that says if you open this, you have to do what it says, which is interesting. And I don't know if I like it. Like, I would kind of think of like the Beware advantage as like a lockdown thing. And those players may also be thinking about that too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because in the past, it's like you can rehide like an advantage paper and fake an advantage or fake an idol because like you're not losing anything by opening it. But with the Beware stuff, like you're going to lose something, but this season you're losing something later. So I that was such an interesting play from Jem to do that. I don't know what she thought would happen when they dug and didn't find it. Or if she
Yeah.
just thought like one person alone was going to be like sneaking out to dig for like hours. You know?
That would have been funny. This did not play out well for her, I don't think.
No.
Like, I number one, so Maria's the one who like quote unquote opened it.
Yeah.
So does she think she doesn't have a vote right now?
So she said that no, I think she thinks she still has the vote because all the thing said was dig directly below it. But I did
Oh,
think of that because if she like thought about that, then I was confused because what if she goes to tribal and then she walks in the thing and she's thinking like you have no vote, go but sit down, and then she would actually just have a vote, which would be
yeah.
crazy. But and we've seen that happen with like other advantages where they're like different tribes and you have to like figure out like what the other tribe did and like if they found their thing, you know. But no, so I'm sure she still thinks that she has her vote because it never said that she lost it. And she could
Okay.
probably ask the producers and be like, hey, I still have a vote, right? You know, and they'd probably say, yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, I'm sure the plan was to just like have one person find it, which I think would be very fascinating if you like faked it and gave it to like and wanted your alliance person to think of, or actually just like know where someone is right now in the game and where their trust is with you. See who they tell, see if they tell you. I think that would be fascinating. But just to kind of like put it in a public place where they all go, interesting.
Yeah. I think that was just like, I think she's just bored. And I think she's like, I have this thing and I want to do something. Like, I think there's been some things this season already that's like, I just want to do something. Like, them making that fake idol that they gave to Jess at Yanu. It's like, I
Yeah.
just want to do something to make this more interesting. Like, I absolutely don't need to do this.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't even helpful. Like if I have to really think about how this would be helpful, like maybe if I could come up with one reason, then it would be worth it. It's like, it's just not worth it.
I've been on the island for like 10 days and haven't been to tribal. This is
Yeah.
like, I'm bored. I want to
Yeah.
do something. The thing that frustrates me with the Beware advantage and like the way that players view it is like they see it and they're like, well, I got to get that advantage because I know that's how people win this game. And like, I'm here to take risks. And it's like, you don't have to. Like, the Beware advantage could be pretty bad for you. Like, like, just because something isn't happening means that something bad is happening.
Yeah. I think Gem, like, this was like, if you find it and your tribe isn't going to tribal, it's a great opportunity to like build trust with someone else if you are really this desperate to do something with it and gamify it. Like, bring your closest ally in and like share this information with them.
Yeah.
That's going to make you look like way more trustworthy to that person. And like they might backstab you in the end, but like who cares, right? Like it's not like they wouldn't have if you didn't tell them that you had to back beware.
Yeah.
But instead, what she's doing is like if she gets found out, she's going to sow so much mistrust in her tribe for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Which like the next time on Survivor did seem like she might be getting found out. Like
it just looked like Tim was getting paranoid, which makes sense. And they were all kind of being like, well, somebody probably has it. But like who would do that? Because that's the interesting thing that's going to change the tribe dynamic because they all like each other. Mm-hmm. Like this is not like a tribe where there's two sides. This is a tribe where there's one side. They're unified and they're happy. And now you're throwing like a grenade in there where everyone's going to be paranoid. Yeah. Which is fascinating. And like her idea was to like pin it on Tim, which apparently works because Mariah even just said that. She was like, I think Tim may have it. And Jem was like, yeah, great.
Yeah. It's like, and then she was like, because of like how hard he was playing, like he was just like, it was just a little bit over the top, don't you think?
No. It's like, but watching it at home,
he just wanted to find an advantage. So that's so crazy that he would really try to find an advantage, guys.
Yeah, and even though they all went together, like to look for one, and Jem, like to me when she was saying that, I was like, it's so funny because like I'm watching this and obviously I know, but it's like I feel like you're overplaying right now by like saying that. Like you don't have to say that. Just sit there. You know, they'll put the pieces together. So. Yeah. And I thought Jem was like in a secure spot with like Mariah and Maria, you know? Mm-hmm. I didn't think she was at risk of going home. Now I may be wrong, but I thought that was fascinating. Yeah. Man. Anything else on this episode of Survivor?
No, this episode was pretty mid.
Yeah.
Like there being no like strategy reveal at Tribal. Oh, and that was one more thing. Why don't they vote? Just freaking vote.
So stupid. Like I don't care if everybody just says, and I don't like Jeff asking. So like you don't have an idol. Like it's like, dude, just like
if I had one, I wouldn't want to tell you right now.
Exactly. Give us some suspicion. I know that Bhanu has just said everything, but like. We have to give him the opportunity to not say anything. You know, like you can't just. It's so I get upset when he does that because it's like just vote.
Yeah, like I know the producers talk to each of them individually right before Tribal. Like, what are you thinking? Who are you going to vote for? Like, do you have an advantage? Are you going to play it? Do you think you might play it? All of those conversations. So they know that everyone's wanting to vote for Bhanu and that Bhanu has no chance of saving himself. And so like on that note, like I don't think that they are breaking the game by not voting. But at the same time, like, dude, it's going to take 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's going to take 30 seconds to vote Bhanu out like a regular situation. Like, I don't know. I like in the off chance that like someone had something and changed their mind at Tribal and was like, you know, it would be crazy. Like, what if I did give Bhanu my idol right now? Like, just vote every time. Like, why not?
What if they were planning a blindside that like they didn't even tell the producers about?
Right.
You know,
could
like,
be.
Who knows? And I think it's great when you watch like the end credits or whatever, and you see the person talking about Survivor and it's intercut with like everyone holding up their vote. I personally like that. And that person will not have their name voted. Like, I think you're taking away something from the show, from the experience with that.
Well, especially like there wasn't a vote last week. Just vote.
Yeah. Like two episodes in a row, there were no votes cast.
Just
That's annoying.
Get the Sharpie out, get some parchment out. It's not like what kind of like this is costing you like 35 cents to like have them write this write Banu's name down. You get to see all the wrong ways they're going to try to spell it. You know, like this is just good television that we're missing out on. You're missing out on all of them like saying something that could be like, just do it. Maybe they did it and we just didn't see it. But like, I don't think they did. Like, they should do it every week.
Yeah. Yeah. Also a thing that I'm confused on, about how I feel about it. Taking Randon out of the game. Like, the next day, Jeff comes back and says, hey, so it was a pinched nerve, but we just took him out because we were scared it was something else, but it's not. And he's been gone for 24 hours. Like, you couldn't, and I originally was like, yeah, take him out of the game. Like, health is important. It would mess up the game to bring people back if they've been eating food or like drinking a lot of water. But that was so fast, you know, he wasn't going to go to tribal. You couldn't have just taken him out for 24 hours and then made the call. Like, it was like, we gotta just pull immediately. And I get that, like, some things may require a level of care where you have to like give the person an unfair advantage by making them a little healthier. And then it's like, call it. But also like an MRI or something like that, I feel like you could have taken him out, put him in there, sent him back. Yeah.
A few things on that. Like, in Australian Survivor, you can, like, if they want to check on you, like, they'll check on you and bring you back in the game. If it's like not, I don't know exactly how long like they'll let that go for, but like if something like that, like an MRI, they would have taken him out and put him back in the game. That's number one. Number two is like, especially if it's not making someone immune at a tribal council. Like, that is if it's making someone immune at a tribal council, it's like, okay, like, this is kind of breaking the game then if you're going to be immune because you say that you can't feel your right arm, whatever.
Yeah.
The third thing on that is it was just a pinched nerve, but Randon said he couldn't feel, like, he had like basically no feeling in his fingers for like weeks or months.
Oh, like after the game?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so like he had already been removed and like maybe it wouldn't have been that bad, but like he said he had to go to physical therapy for like at least 6 weeks before he could get feeling back. Like,
so he wouldn't have been able to participate in like the challenges anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, so for this instance, like that doesn't really matter. Which is kind of like what Dr. I don't know what this guy's name is. It's not Dr. Joe. It's the new guy. Dr. Will. I think it's Dr. Will.
Yeah. Dr. Will.
Like, what Dr. Will said is like, we were monitoring it and it was trending in the wrong direction. Like, so instead of this being like you slept on it weird, like this is a thing where, you know, it's you're losing more feeling instead of it coming in more. And so, yeah, Randon in his post game interviews said that, yeah, he was like not in good shape with his arm and stuff for like weeks after he was done on the show. So,
wow.
Yeah, it still would have been hard for their tribe. Like, it wouldn't have been a life-threatening thing. Like, maybe he could have stayed, but he wouldn't have been in any challenges and would have been crippled. So he would have probably got voted out anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's tough. Happy to hear he's good though. Yeah. Anything else on Survivor?
Not really.
We have about 10 minutes left. Do we want to go through some college basketball?
Yeah, I can make stuff up.
Great. Did you watch the Virginia game last night?
I watched more than I care to admit, and only because I had a parlay going with Wagner and Virginia.
Oh, tough.
So I said, you know, like, whatever. Like, I don't know anything about any of these four teams. And Wagner and Virginia are underdogs, but like, it's the first four. Like, how much difference can there be between two teams that are playing in the first four? So I just bet a two-leg money line parlay on Wagner and Virginia, and I'm feeling great. after
during
the Wagner game, which they almost blew at the end of the game. I was like, are they seriously about to blow a 13-point lead in the last 3 minutes?
So here's the crazy thing. Like, I haven't been keeping up with like college basketball as much as I have in a long time because I've just been so busy. But did you hear like the story that they had? Like,
No.
They had 7 active players for that game. They went through a lot. Yes, they went through a lot of their conference schedule with 6. They have been non-contact practicing since January because they don't have the bodies.
Hey, maybe that's the secret. Maybe non-contact practice, the way to go.
Like, that's crazy. And they almost won. They almost beat. Oh, well, they did beat. And they're going to play again. They beat a team in the NCAA tournament with 7 dudes. Like, that's insane. That's crazy. That coach like should get like every award there is. Like, that's insane. And Virginia though, pretty tough look. I'm a little upset that Indiana State didn't make it. I was really looking forward to seeing Indiana State basketball. They have like this guy named Robbie Avila who's like 6'8", like chubby, wears like goggles. And he was amazing. And his team was really good. And they're the highest team ever in the net to not make the NCAA tournament. So RIP to Indiana State. Because Virginia got in. And we all love to watch Virginia basketball. It's always so thrilling. And here we are.
I said, I texted you this. I've never seen a team with so many white guys that shoot the ball that badly. That was really bad.
They were like airballing and like hitting the backboard. Like, it was bad.
It was embarrassing. It looked like a church league shoot around out there. That's how bad it was.
Yes, dude. Like, so also like this is a thing that we got like Tony Bennett. Like, he's been to like 5 or 6 NCAA tournaments and he won it one time, and every other time he lost in his first game. Like,
yeah,
how does that happen? Like, what's going on?
Maybe he's not that great of a coach. I don't know.
It's just like
just thoughts.
Wild. Anyway, I was thinking maybe we could give like our final 4 picks. Okay. I'm sure you filled out a bracket at some point in the last couple days.
Yes.
Do you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You should go first. I think I need to look up my picks.
Okay. So I'm like a little torn with who my final 4 exactly are, but my champion 100% is UConn. I think UConn's going to win for sure. I don't think I actually picked UConn last year, but I almost did. And the 2 years that they won the national championship, so the one that they won with Kemba and the one that they won with Shabazz Napier, I picked them to win both those years, and they won. And I'm pretty sure they won the Big East tournament both those years, and they won the Big East tournament this year. I feel really confident that UConn's going to win the national championship again. Their team is nuts, and I have them in the Final 4 beating Arizona, and I have Houston and Creighton also making the Final 4. Creighton, yes. You know why I have Creighton? Because the other teams in their bracket, I don't trust at all. One of them being Purdue, the other being Tennessee. So,
but you do trust Creighton?
Dude, okay, so I love Creighton. So Creighton, like, I think they played San Diego State last year, I think it was last year, and they almost beat them. Like, they almost beat San Diego State, and then San Diego State went on that run. Creighton's got 4 dudes that are like professional ballers, like, and they're really thin. So like they have 4 guys, and then their bench is pretty bad. But Ryan Kalkbrenner is an awesome big that I love watching. And then they have like Baylor Shireman. Their point guard is really good. I'm in on Creighton. I have been for a while. I think this is the year they get it done. So like, yeah. Also, yeah. What about you?
I mostly am picking this team to win the whole thing because I didn't want to pick UConn.
Sure.
Which I think, like, for the purposes of your, like, the ESPN tournament challenge, I should actually just pick UConn because I actually think UConn's more likely to win it all.
Yeah.
But just for kicks and giggles, I have picked North Carolina to win the championship. I like the run they had a couple years ago. They've still got Baycott down there. Baycott, man,
he's great.
He's a beast. Great college big. Hubert Davis, he's been there before now as a coach. I was a doubter last time 2 years ago, and they went really deep. Did they win? Did they win the national championship 2 years ago?
No, they lost to Kansas, but they beat Coach K in the Final Four in his last game.
Yeah. Unfinished business. So I like North Carolina, Baycott, and them to win the whole thing. My Final Four is UConn, North Carolina, Houston. Houston they got some dogs on that team.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, dude. I watched them play Iowa State. Didn't know anything about either team, really. Hadn't watched. I mean, I knew they were both in the top 5 teams when they played. And I had bet on Iowa State as part of my parlay.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest mistake of my life. Houston was getting after those dudes. And they slipped up in the Big 12 tournament, but I think that's probably more of just I don't think that their intensity level could be not where it needs to be in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
If they press you, you're finished. Period. They have some dudes on that team.
Yeah.
And then I've got the Tennessee Vols in the Final Four also. Because I really like a couple of their players. I like they've got that point guard. He was out last year, but he's in. I really like him. I really like Dalton Connect.
Yeah, they could shoot, man.
He can do more than shoot. He is a hooper, bro.
Yeah.
And they still got Vescovy hanging around. And so I think this might be Rick Barnes' year to make the Final Four. So I've got Houston versus Tennessee and UConn versus North Carolina, and I've got North Carolina and Tennessee in the championship game.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah. So the one thing I'm sure about, Purdue is not going to be sniffing the Final Four.
Dude, so that's the crazy thing.
Purdue every year, man. I'm so why do we keep putting Purdue on a pedestal?
Matt Painter, people talk about Tony Bennett he's a bad NCAA tournament coach. Matt Painter is trash. That dude, he cannot coach Purdue in the tournament to save his life. When he plays teams that are small and don't fit the Big Ten mold, he can't do it. He's not a game coach. He can't scout. He can't do it. The dude's bad. And it's really frustrating because I just watched Grambling play, and even Seth Davis and freaking Jay Wright said it. It's Grambling kind of feels like a better Fairleigh Dickinson. And they're about to play Purdue. Are we sure Purdue's going to win again? That's just, oh man, Purdue is trash.
Do you think that I'm kind of torn because I could see TCU beating Purdue in the second round.
Yeah.
Or even I could see Kansas or McNeese State beating Purdue also.
That's the thing. I think, Kansas is really banged up right now, but I think McNeese State would give Purdue a ton of problems if they made the Sweet 16. They're smaller, they're quicker, they're very athletic. They can switch around all 5 guys. Purdue can't do that. So
future Vanderbilt coach Will Wade coaching McNeese State.
We'll see. Well, yeah, that's about it for us. I'm Joel. That's Michael. We just recapped episode 4 of season 46 of Survivor, and we will be back next week with more. See you later. Bye, Bhanu.
March Madness, baby. Soak it up.